Hello, everybody. Phil Hemphill, P. Randolph Financial Group. Glad to have you this fine day. Fine, as you see, early morning. I just want to give you a conversation today. Big conversation has been on my heart for actually years, and I'm sure it's on all of yours because it's very impactful, very thought provoking. I'm going to use your imagination today because we're going to talk about energy. Yes, energy. So we're going to use some of the stuff you may not have used in a long time or may have used yesterday, your imagination to illustrate some of the things I'm going to go over today. So energy, that shared resource that you have a limited supply of, that you love receiving. We all love receiving it, but we question how we give it out, or we don't want to squander it. So I'll start with saying, let's use our imagination. So let's use something in your hand, that you put fire to. It can be, again, using your imagination. And first thing is you're transferring heat to burn something. And from that, you're going to get back some sort of energy. Now, that energy is a limited supply. That energy will feed you for a period of time for whatever you use. So let's go with let's use the surrounded by a wood burning fireplace, or you're in front of a fire pit with your friends and you're having a good time. So we'll start with the fireplace. You light the same amount of wood in that fireplace that you light in that fire pit. We're not going to get into math and all that stuff today, but it's the same amount of wood. You put the same amount of fuel on it, same amount of fire, and you burn it. When you're in that room and in front of that fire pit with your friends, you get warmth. What's the difference? What's the difference in the energy or the displacement of that energy? And that is, when you're in your home, you have a enclosed space, less places for that energy to leave. So in that cozy, warm, wonderful fire, you get warm, you're probably gonna get hotter because the energy is condensed. However, if you're in front of that fire pit with your friends, the energy dissipates into the environment, because now, again, that energy can spread out. It's going to go as far as it can, and it's limited. It's a limited resource for a limited amount of time. You're throwing more wood on, again, in the house. You're throwing less wood on over a period of time because, again, that energy is not spreading out as much. If you do something that I remember happening, where somebody leaves something in the fire, in the chimney, you can start a fire, you can suffocate yourself because the energy really stays, and none of the smoke, or it's part of the energy, the soot or the poison of the energy is like when you go somewhere and do something at number two, that leaves, or it should leave, and if it doesn't leave, it can hurt you. That fire pit, if you're too close, it can hurt you. If you're in front of the fire pit, it's that energy. Now, I gave that illustration to think and get started thinking about the spread of energy. Now we're going to talk about our energy and our universe and the people we're around. So imagine you're driving down the road and that person in front of you is driving too slow. Now, too slow is relative. Too slow could be 80 for some people and 65. Too slow can be 40 and a 55. Too slow. But you're driving behind that person, they're going too slow for a period of time, and you got somewhere you want to be. Your energy says, I need to give my energy to wherever I'm trying to go, and it's important, so that energy is firing up. And you get more and more fired up, and you may say a few choice words, and some other things happen. And then you finally get around them, and you look over, and it's an older person. Now, for those of you that are toxic, you'll keep that energy and be like, oh my God, you should have pulled over, you're still going on. But for most of us rational people, you look over, you smile, and say, oh my goodness. Now, keep this in mind in front of your energy. It doesn't matter if you believe in the universe, believe in fate, believe in a higher power. Most people believe energy transfers. It goes in a circle. So if you continue to transfer your energy to that situation, think of it this way. Maybe in your life later, that will be you. That's what got me to stop doing that. Now I'm still working on myself, but I do that much less now, as I think to myself, one day I'm gonna be that guy in that big old Lincoln, looking in the rearview mirror, darn sure know I should be in the right lane, but I'm having a good time driving along, enjoying myself, being happy that I can still drive. Now, I may suck at this and be slow, but I still can drive. Just keep that in your mind as you think about the positivity of how you displace or share your energy. Now, let's continue. The people we're around. Let's go into that room. Let's start with the happy thoughts. So we're going to that room and we're all vibing on a good time. Let's just take a club, another type of building that you're in as a group. May it be a church, a mosque, may it be your mystic group, your group that looks at the stars, whatever it is. So we'll go back to the club to make it easy. You're all there for a reason. You're all there to have a good time. You're all there to enjoy yourselves. Every so often you're at a location and somebody's at the bar, stuff coming out, sleep. And the bartender and everyone else goes to him and wants to get him out. Now, you shouldn't drink and drive, and you shouldn't put people at risk. So why the heck would I want that person to leave? Their vibe is off. Their energy is not where it should be. So what's happening is people look over and they're seeing that person laid up and they think two things. One, man, that nap looks good. I don't care who you are. I know I thought it like, man, I wish I could have a nap. I wouldn't want to do it here, but I wish I could have a nap. And secondly, other people start, feeling tired. Like when one person yawns and everyone else starts yawning. I forgot how they put it, but it's actually a response to people wanting to be like other people where you yawn because someone else is yawning. It's not a transference of a yawn, but yet it is. So that's a form of energy. So again, we're all in this spot. We're on a good time. We're all vibing. We're all, whatever. And until someone ruins the vibe, does something stupid, and you can imagine for other places you've been in what stupid is, the vibe is good. You go to somewhere else, if people are standing and jumping around or looking at the chart or whatever you're doing, and they're all doing together, having a good time, everybody's vibing. The minute somebody changes that vibe, they have sucked the energy. So let's look at the other side. So you're with that other group, or the other person, whatever it is, and their energy is off. So you're in this room, and we all know that one person that their energy is just wrong, and they say stuff, they fight, argue, whatever it is, it's just wrong. And you leave that group feeling less energized. Why? Because they sucked your energy out. I'll go into another one for fun for those adults. When two people are really connected and you vibing, a lot of times ladies look at a guy and go, how the heck are you asleep now? Post. Well, he dropped off some energy. No matter where the energy went, he dropped off some energy. And if he does a good enough job, you both sleep because he took some energy from you. But usually, unfortunately, and women, you can laugh at this, we drop off energy and don't transfer enough so you can go do something else while he's just snoring. But he always, if we've dropped off energy, and if we've shared, we both have. Keep it as tame as possible, depending on the audience. So use your imagination to what I just said. Now let's go to, when you think about the energy of squandering your time, squandering your space. We all should be in a situation where we know when some folks, their energy is they're just energy, suckers. So let's use a relationship and use a different version of relationship. So you're with somebody. I was reading a post one day. I use this example, and somebody cheated on somebody else because the one that got cheated, the one that did the cheating, said that person had time for me, and that person's significant other did not have time for them. Now, you probably know where the story is going. The person that had time wasn't working, worked a different shift, didn't have kids, was an irresponsible person in their regular life. So they had time for this other person while that person was taking care of, let's just use a lot of different vague areas. They had a longer, high-hour job, very intense, may have had children, may have had family members that were sick, you name it. Again, we're using imagination here. That person didn't have time. Now, we're going back to energy. The person that did wrong could have given some of their energy to that person, and that person would have had more energy back. I remember I was reading an article in some magazine, and it talked about chore play. And what chore play, what chore play is, your significant other, the person in your relationship, because it can be anybody who has a significant other, the person that does, let's say, that likes to clean or take care of the property. We'll go with that person. Well, if chore play means that instead of that person taking care of the property, may it be cleaning, dishes, clothing, children if you got them, pets if you got them, whatever it is, you do it instead of them doing it, because everybody, I don't care what relationship you're in, everybody has a pattern. They have a pattern of things they do. And you take away their side of it and make it easier on them. Well, what happens? What happens? Chore play, which means that person says, oh, they've ironed my clothes. They washed something. They did something for me out of the kindness of their heart, but it gave me some time to hook that person up. So, that's another form of transference energy. To go back to the story. What that person should have did was found a way to give some of that energy to the other person. And from there, that person would have had the power or more energy to reciprocate. And over time, that divide gets smaller. And that person wouldn't have had time to do the wrong thing because they were doing stuff they should have been doing. And the other person would have had more energy to make them feel better. So that's an example of that energy transference. I'm really going over this today with you because I want to make sure that we realize our energy, again, is finite, it's shared, and you shouldn't squander it. We all have a limited amount of time. We don't know how much time we have, but we all are limited. That the old age and death is undefeated. That we're all going to find that one day. So I want to make sure that we understand the thoughts towards energy. Now, another side of the energy is, so using this whole thing that we just talked about today, let's take a bucket. We've all seen a bucket, and let's fill it up with some kind of liquid. We fill it up, or take a glass or whatever else. And now we take a drill and we put holes in that bucket, and it spills out all the liquid. Now, you can fill the bucket back up, but what happens is when you fill that bucket back up, the liquid keeps draining out. You can put the water as much as you want. Eventually, depending on how many holes you did. Now, if you didn't do too many holes, you could have an equilibrium where the water coming in, the water coming out, it stay the same level. But usually, if you use my imagination, the imagination I'm giving you correctly, it spills out. You are the faucet, or you are the bucket. You will give out your energy, your liquid, to some other bucket, some other container. Now, if that container is too leaky, ain't a darn thing you can do to fix how they're going to be. Eventually, they're going to leak all out and take you down with you. Your water supply will be dehydrated, and unless you get a rainstorm over where the water comes from, you are done. Remember that. You are a finite resource. Now, also remember, we can all be that bucket. We have to fix us. Forgive, forget, do certain things. Now, I'm not a one person to say, hey, I forgive and we're still right. No, what you're supposed to do is so you don't lose your energy focusing on that situation or that person, you're supposed to let it go. So that way you are not transferring your energy. As I've heard, to some person that's sleeping while you're up all night going, I can't believe whatever. Give that up. Let it go. Again, you are a finite resource. Only so much can be given out. And you're a finite receiver. You can receive and receive. You have to fix yourself. I remember years ago, I was having issues in my relationship, and I said, what can I do to make me a better person? Not them, me. Because it all starts with you. Now, if you keep going to fix you, first of all, if you can't find nothing to fix about yourself, you're a fool. Something wrong with you. Everybody's got something wrong with them. And you got to fix it. Once you start fixing it, over time, the other person should come in line if you have good decision-making skills, which is a different conversation. So keep that in mind in terms of, again, that energy, that energy. You want to share your energy. You want to receive energy. You want to make sure you are powerful with your energy, and don't squander it. Don't squander it. Love, 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 but don't be stupid. It's your time, it's your place, and the energy is yours to keep and to give. P. Randolph Financial Group, please like, subscribe. I will continue to do these for a period of time. This may be for a season. I mean, this venue didn't even exist, when I was coming up. So, something maybe in the future, I may be in your living room on some goggles, who knows? But thank you again, like and subscribe, and y'all have a wonderful energy receiving